Hello everyone, my name is Ismail Berkay Cetin. I'm a physics student from Berkay University. I shoot this video to explain our PHYS-211 lab project. Firstly, I would like to talk a little bit about the theoretical background of the project. When I was reading about Rayleigh scattering on the textbook, I wondered if we could use the scattering intensity to differentiate between liquids with different concentrations, such as carbonated beverages with carbon dioxide bubbles. When I dived into the topic a little bit, I realized that we need a better rigorous theory to explain such phenomenon, like my theory. At this point, I should explain my theory a little bit. Basically, my theory is the solution of Maxwell's equations on a sphere. I should explain the derivation here. By utilizing the my theory, angle-dependent total scattering intensity due to a single bubble was calculated. Then we had to make the crucial assumption of a continuous distribution. We have based our assumption on the log-normal distribution, which is commonly used in the study of bubble populations. Then the next step was to integrate a differential section of scattering over the bubble distribution. Here you can see the reduced dependence of the integrand. Now it was time to consider the time dependence of the behavior. The time-dependent bubble distribution can be separated into two parts: a function of the number of bubbles and a function of the radii of the bubbles. Based on the studies of bubble populations, we have assumed that the number of bubbles decay exponentially and the radii stay constant. When we took the integral numerically with log-normal distribution and exponential decay, we have predicted an exponential intensity decay. The experimental setup was designed to extract two measurements: side scattering intensity with the camera and the laser power with a lux meter. The emerging beam was directed to the lux meter by a beam splitter, and the camera was placed far away from the center of the container to measure the side scattered intensity. The laser was turned on and the samples were poured into the container. Then, data from the lux meter and the camera was collected. Here you can see the experimental setup and the side scattered light's decay. After exporting the video to the computer, two regions were selected: a region inside the walls and a dark region. Then, green light data was extracted using a Python code, and the data from the dark region was subtracted from the data to account for background noise. Here you can see the data from the previously played experimental test run. Finally, the data was normalized with the recorded laser power and an exponential fit was placed. Here are the samples tested for the project. Constants of the exponential decay were also extracted for comparison. Here you can see them for each sample. While larger initial scattering and larger time constant are commercially preferred, a quantitative tool was not developed for this study. Thank you for listening.